Hi guys, how are you? It's Irene. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Very, very hot. Okay, and hi everyone. I thought I'd come up with, I've come up with this before, but I haven't used it in a while, and I thought I'd quickly share it with you. If people are kind of trying to come up with new ways of making covers, and particular the spine. So this is what you need for your cover. 2 file folders, yeah, and a scoreboard. But if you don't have a scoreboard, you can do it with a ruler and one of these, or anything that could make like a little engraving without piercing through. You wouldn't want to, these are like, that's like a nail tool. It's actually a nail tool. It's called a dotting tool. Trying to think. The side of a spoon, because the side of a spoon is perfect to go along the ruler and make your score line. You know, you can come up with anything. A skewer, a wooden skewer, the pointy part, perfect. Okay, but I'm going to show you just quickly. I've already done it, but I'll just show you quickly how I do it. Okay, so one of these file folders, as you know, and the good thing about these, the spines, you can make them as large as you want. But the larger they go, of course, the smaller the book goes. But I'll show you what I mean. So in an average file folder, I'll move this up. Hold on. So in an average file folder, you have that main score line. But if you look closely, on this side there's 3 other score lines. So I'm going to actually fold along them, because eventually that's what you have to do with all your score lines. So I'm just going to fold along each one now, just so you can see where the normal score lines are in your file folder. So you got your one in the middle, and then you got your 2 on one side. So what you have to do is put it in your scoreboard or your ruler on a craft mat, and you have to make, these are about, hold on, let me measure them. I just want to measure roughly how much each one is. Okay, 1/2 inch. Okay, so these are roughly half an inch apart, yeah? So when you put it on your scoreboard, you want to line it up and measure 1/2 inch. So you've already, that's your one in the middle here, right? And then they've got 1, 2 score lines on that side. So you're going to go on the other side and create 2 new score lines on this side that are 1/2 inch apart. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm lining it up with, say, the middle one is going to be lined up on number 5. So if you've got a scoreboard, I'll quickly show you. So that's the main score line that I've got lined up on number 5. And if you go to the next score line, you will see that it's on 5.5, and then the last one goes on 4, because we're going backwards. So it goes 5, 4.5, 4. So now on this side, we're going to score out from 5. We're going to score out 5.5, and then 6. Yeah, so that's the middle there. So we're going to score out 5.5 and then 6. So, and you're not going to be able to score all the way down. You're only going to be able to score up to here, but that's okay, because you're going to turn it over and do that scoring. Okay. So that's what I'm just going to do now. I'll quickly over and hold it so you... Okay. So that's the middle one. It's on 5 and then goes 4.5, 4. So we're going to score here at 5.5. It's hard to do this because I'm holding it, so hold on, I'm gonna have to be event. Okay, all right, so you see what I'm doing, yeah? So that's what you're gonna do. And so let's just pretend I've scored all the way down, yeah? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I want another score line. I want 6 because mine is going to be, the thicker you want your spine, that's how many score lines you're going to do, yeah? And I'm going to make mine a chunky monkey, so I want it to be, what's that, it's going to be about 1, 2, about 2.5 inches, but I might want it more than that. So I'm just going to flip you back over and finish the scoring because it's hard to do it. So I've made about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 score lines. So I'm just going to turn it over, put the main one on 5 and score down. There we go. So easy, easy peasy. And that is the quickest way that I found in all the years that I've been making journaling covers to do the spine. Very easy. So in order for this, because it's still folding like that, and you don't want it to fold like that, you want it to fold like this. See how it's curved? Oh, I've got a journal upstairs where I've done this technique. I might bring it down later. I'm filming in parts, so I'm going to be doing editing. Just putting videos together, it's no big deal. That's as far as I go with my editing. Yeah, see how it's curving? So basically that's, if you can see, that's how thick my spine is going to be, but just looking at it, and even if it does open up a bit more, it's okay. It might go a bit alligator mouth, but the way it's been designed, it's okay. Right, so to get that, all you have to do is fold along each score line that you just did. So that's what I'm just doing now, just folding along each score line. The middle one's already done, so you don't have to do that. If you want it to be more flimsier, you can just use 1, but I'm going to do 2 and stick them together, depending on how sturdy. If you want it real sturdy, you can do this with 4 and stick them together. But we'll see how it goes by sticking 2 together, because I'm going to be putting fabric on it as well. And don't forget, you're probably also going to be lining the insides with some cardboard pattern paper or whatever, so it's going to get the extra strength from that as well. There we go. So now that they're all lined up, I've got 3 done now. Let's see how they feel like with 3. Yeah, that feels very sturdy. Yeah, I think I might put 3 together. And so now all that's left to do is to glue it together. It's not gonna work. Hold on. Yeah. And I use this glue from Spotlight. It's good glue. It's about $15, $16. You get 500 mils. It's Crafter's Choice. Bonds fabric, paper, leather, plastic, glass. Dries clear. It goes on clear and dries clear, so that's awesome. Oh God, I should have made the hole bigger. Oh, that's better. It's coming out much better now. There we go. So I'm just spreading the glue everywhere. This is really good glue, so all you have to focus on is I just do my edges, of course. But you might end up slimming it down, you know, so. Oh, it's very strong, this glue. So that's why it's important. You kind of get the glue a bit everywhere, because you might end up slimming it down. But then again, it's really strong glue that it doesn't really need all that much. It's got a really bad smell too. A really strong glue smell. Alright. So of course, common sense tells you to line it up properly, doesn't it? So along with that middle score line you're going to find the other middle score line. So they're all perfectly flush. And just going along, making sure that they're all, yeah. But, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to end up putting material over it. Just going along and furnishing it with your hand. I've got a brayer, but I'm not in my craft room. It's too hot to go in the craft room. Heat rises. Perfect. So that's 2 file folders now that are stuck together. So let's see how the spine reacts now. It's folding open pretty. Whoopsie. It's kind of curving. I'm kind of holding it from the ends and pushing it in, just seeing how it curves around. And you can always go back and put more score lines in it. I think I might, just looking at that, might do my score lines. Oh, there's a score line here that hasn't been scored on this side. So I'm just gonna go along and make any necessary score lines that I want to do extra, or ones that haven't kind of been scored on the other side, because you stuck them together, remember? So it was only one that didn't have the score line, but I'll just go over all of them and make sure that they're all kind of scored nicely together. And maybe I'll name this start of a journal, part 1, making my journal. Maybe I'll do that, yeah. So you can kind of see the progress of my journal as I go along. I think actually 2 file folders will be enough, because the more you add, it's going to be harder to make you know, the spine turn into a concertina, like it's almost like a concertina like spine, isn't it? There we go, that's looking better. Awesome. So now with that curve, if you were to look this way, you'll see the skull on that side is here and the skull on that side is there. So they both match up perfectly. That's what I was wanting, because before the skull line didn't match up. There was one skull line that hadn't been done, and that's what I just did here. So that's what I'm looking to do. And so now my next stage would be cutting the size of the journal that I want. Let's just open it up and see how it's looking. I'll have to fold along this side as well. That doesn't look like it's been folded. Hold on. Okay. Awesome. We'll go along and fold each score line now. Right. Okay, can you see that? There's your curved spine. Awesome. And what I was thinking was, if you wanted it to stay like a curved spine, but you want the pages more sturdier, you can also go just back on top of here and leave that like that, but I'm going to add fabric in the inside to make it sturdier. But I'm going to leave it like that, and that's pretty sturdy. But some people like really thick covers. If you're like that, just go along and stick some more file folders or cardstock, but just from there. Of course, you're not going to put any over the spine, so that's another idea for you. And yeah, so I'm going to stop the video here now because I don't have any more tools to go ahead with the next step. But maybe in the next step we'll start filming cutting it down. I'm not sure what size I want it in. What I might do is play around and put in some folded pages, and that way I can gather from that how big I want it to be, and then cut off the excess, and then we'll start putting the fabric over it. Yeah. So that's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I've used this technique a while ago to make one of my journals. Just if you see it from the different angles. And the benefit with having this is even if it starts getting really chunky, you can always add another score mark to make it bigger. Alright, thanks for watching. We've been having 35 degrees Celsius days, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. I don't know what that is, but type in what's 35 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit for all you Americans, because I know you use Fahrenheit. And yeah, we've been averaging for the last, I think today's the, what, 5th, 6th day in a row we've had 35 degrees Celsius days. Very hot. And I don't have any aircon here. I've got a bit of aircon in the back and upstairs, but not in this room. But anyway. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.